Hello students, I am Thomas, Assistant Professor, Department of Microbiology, School of Allied Health Sciences, Vinayaga Mission Research Foundation. Today we are going to talk about an overview and classification of fungi. Chapter preview, general microbiology, classification, and the morphological classification, and the taxonomical classification, and also classification of fungal infection. First, general mycology. The medical mycology, the branch of medical science that deals with the study of medical important fungi. The lot of fungi we can study, and general fungi and a plant fungi, there are a lot of fungi is there. But we can't talk about only the medical microbiology, medical fungi, clinically important fungi only. The fungus is derived from Greek, mycis meaning mushrooms. This type of edible fungi differ from the bacteria and other eukaryotes in the many ways. Eukaryotic and the eukaryotic cell organelles possess a rigid cell wall and the composed of chitin and the beta glucans and other polysaccharides, and cell membrane contains ergosterol instead of cholesterol. In our body, the cell contains from the cell membranes made from the cholesterol, but the fungi is not made from the cholesterol, it's made from the ergosterol, maybe unicellular or multicellular. Lack of chlorophyll and divided by the asexuals, and sexuals means by producing spores. The classification of fungi. The classifications is a morphological classification, the taxonomical classification, and the classification of fungal infection. The first we can see about the morphological classification. Morphological classification under the yeast like fungi, mold, and the dimorphic fungi. First we can say about the yeast. What is yeast? Yeast is a round and oval cells that produce a budding yeast cells. Yeast are unicellular fungi. Yeast as unicellular fungi, the molds are multicellular fungi. So we can see yeast is reproduced mainly by budding or fusion. Size 3 to 10 micrometer in diameter. Thus commonly found in fruits, soil, skin, and mucosal membrane. Most are non-pathogenic. It's not harmful to human, but some cause infection in humans. Immunocompromised patient easily affected by fungus like yeast. Next, the morphology. Shape. Oval to spherical cells, cell wall composed of chitin and glucan. Nucleus, single cell, well defined. Cytoplasm contains vacuoles, mitochondria, ribosomes. Budding, formation of small bud that grows and separates. Laboratory identification, culture media, seborrheic dextrose agar, otherwise called SDA agar. Colony appearance, creamy, smoothy, pasty colony, and microscopy, gram positive oval budding cells. In microscopically, germ tube test. So one of the main tests in the yeast for Candida albicans, and also sugar fermentation test and assimilation test also. Yeast like fungi. First we can talk about the yeast. Yeast like fungi resemble true yeast in appearance. They can form the both budding yeast cells and pseudohyphae. So dimorphism, grow as a yeast or filamentous form. Colonies are creamy, smoothy, and pasty on the SDA agar. Microscopically, budding cells with a pseudohyphae. Okay, so we can see this is a budding yeast cells. This is a budding yeast pseudohyphae. This is a pseudohyphae. These are pseudohyphae. Okay, these are the hay separate hyphae, mycelium. So hay separate hyphae mean there is no cell separations. Separate hyphae means the separations present. You can see next. Candida albicans is the most common pathogenic yeast like fungus. So Candida albicans is the most important yeast, one of the yeast. It's mostly affected the immunocompromised patient. So next, cause the oral thrush and vaginal infection, the systemic candidiasis. Identifications. So one of the main tests is germ tube test and corn meal agar and morphological identification for and chromogenic agar only. And clinical importance, opportunistic infection in the immunocompromised patient. The important one. It's not easily affected the normal persons and the humans. It's easily affected the immunocompromised patient like a HIV patient. Mold. First we see yeast, second one yeast like fungus, the third one is a mold. Mold, a multicellular filamentous fungi composed of hyphae that form the mycelium, otherwise called network. Hyphae types, aseptate hyphae and septate hyphae. Separate hyphae divided by the cross cell walls. This is a cross cell walls. This is a septate hyphae. There is no separation. So this is a separate hyphae. Reproduction by spores, asexual and sexuals. Asexual spores, conidia and sporangiospores. Sexual spores, zygospores, ascospores, basidiospores. Grow well on seborrheic dextrose agar at SDA at room temperature 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. The temperature is important. Mold only grow only that 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, because 37 degrees Celsius they can't grow. The colonies are cottony, woolly and powdery in structure. Common examples: Aspergillus species, Rhizospis species, Penicillium species, Mucor species. These are the molds and clinically important molds. The pathogenic molds cause the infection like aspergillosis and the mucormycosis and dermatophytosis. Microscopic identification based on the spore arrangement, that hyphal structure. Based on the growth pattern in culture media, aerial mycelium, vegetative mycelium. What is the aerial mycelium? It is a part of the mycelium which projects above the surface of the culture medium. Okay. The vegetative mycelium is a part of the mycelium that grows on the surface of the culture medium. So, aerial mycelium is the projector above the surface of the culture medium, but the vegetative mycelium, that mycelium grows on the surface of culture medium. Dimorphic fungi can exist the two different forms depending on the temperature. So, main important, depending on the temperature. Grow as mold, filamentous form, okay, at room temperature at 25 degrees Celsius. Grows as yeast, unicellular form at body temperature 37 degrees Celsius. Most of the systemic infection caused by the dimorphic fungi, because the patient inhale the spores coming to the body, it's converted to the yeast form. It come from the mold, form and then converted to the yeast form. Okay, the temperature dependent on the convention is called thermal dimorphism, found in mostly in soil. Infections occur through the inhalation of spores, causes systemic mycosis in humans. In culture, 25 degrees Celsius appear as a mold with hyphae and spores. Examples of dimorphic fungi: Histoplasma capsulatum causes a histoplasmosis. Blastomyces dermatidis causes a blastomycosis. Coccidias immitis causes a coccidiomycosis. Paracoccidios basilensis causes a paracoccidiomycosis. Sporotrichs chenke causes sporotrichosis. Dimorphic fungi. These fungi cause serious systemic infection, fungal infection. Already I told, serious systemic fungal infection, especially immunocompromised patient like the HIV patient. Taxonomical classification based on the production of the sexual spores. The taxonomical classification is the sexual spores by phylum Zycomycota, the sexual spores, zygospores, and possess the aseparate hyphae. Example: Rhizophos and Mucor. Phylum Ascomycota, sexual spores. Ascospores possess the separate hyphae. Example: Aspergillus. Third one, phylum Basidiomycota, sexual spores. Basidiospores. Example: Cryptococcus. Phylum Deuteromycota, fungi imperfecti. Sexual state is either absent or unidentified yet. This is the sexual spores. Zygospores observed in the zygomycetes. Second one, ascospores observed in Aspergillus species, and also the basidiospores observed in Cryptococcus species. Yes, it's a sexual spores. The asexual spores, the two types: vegetative sexual spores and also aerial sexual spores. Vegetative sexual spore, arthrospores observed in Coccidias and Trichosporon. Right. The second one, blastospores observed in Candida. Third one, chlamydospore observed in Candida albicans. Aerial asexual spore, conidiospores or conidia observed in Aspergillus. Sporangiospore observed in Zycomycetes. Microconidia observed in dermatophytes. Macroconidia observed in dermatophytes. Classification of fungal infection: superficial mycosis, subcutaneous mycosis, systemic mycosis, opportunistic mycosis. Superficial mycosis involve outer layer of the skin, hair and nails. Example: Tinea vesicular, Tinea nigra, Tinea pedra. First one, Tinea vesicular, caused by the lipophilic fungus Malassezia furfur, characterized by flat, round, scaly, hypopigmented to hyperpigmented patches of the skin. You can see this is the infection. The patches, the white patches around the backside the skin is not only skin, it can affect the hair and the neck region, everywhere. The Tinea vesicular is caused by the Malassezia furfur fungi. The second is a Tinea nigra, characterized by painless black non-scaly patches present on the palm and sole, caused by black colored yeast like fungus Horte wernicki. You can see the black colored fungi present the palm and soles. It's not caused the pain and scaly. It's a black colored fungi in the palm only and the palm and sole. It's like the pedra. Pedra characterized by nodule formation on the hair shaft, either black in color caused by the Trichosporan bilgi or white color in color caused by the Pedra horte. White pedra, this is a hair shaft, the white color you can see, these are the white pedra. Okay, it's caused by Trichosporan bilgi. It is present only in the hair shaft only, not in the air, not in the root. Black pedra is also cause the hair infection, is present in the hair shaft only. You can see at the dermatophytes, Artenia ringworm. Most common superficial mycosis affecting skin, hair and nail caused by the group of related fungi called dermatophytes. This includes three groups: trichophyton species infect the skin, hair, nail. Both common the three: skin, hair, nail. The microsporum species infect the skin, hair only. The epidermophyton species infect the skin and nail only, not the hair. Okay. Clinical types: Tinea capitis, infection on the scalp. You can see infection on the scalp. It can the alopecia, like alopecia, hair not grow in the affected the area. The second one is Tinea corporis, infection of the non-hairy skin of the body. Third one, Tinea pedis, infection of the web space between the toes which spread through the sole. Infection is caused, also spread to the next web space of the fingers. Next, Tinea cruris, infection of the groin area. Tinea barbae, infection of the beard and mustache area. This is a Tinea barbae. You can see it's a beard area. It's affection. This is the infection. This is a facie, infection of the non-bearded area of the face. This you can see non-bearded area. You can see infection. This is a painful and subcutaneous mycosis. Involve deeper layer of the skin and subcutaneous tissues caused by saprophytic fungi from the soil. Example: sporotrichosis, mycetoma. A patient easily affected from the traumatic injury and also wooden stick, and the person have the open wound. They can easily affected from the contaminated soil. Mycetoma is the mycetoma affected food. First one, mycetoma, also known as Madura mycosis or mother of fruit. A chronic, slowly progressive granulomatous infection is the first main point. The granulomatous infections, because the first is form the nodule. Say the nodule is a granulomatous lesions, granulomatous things present in the lesion. Open the nodule, we can get the granules, black granules or pinkish white granules present. Okay, is a granules infection of the skin and the subcutaneous tissues. Clinically manifested triad. First is the swelling, the discharging sinuses and the presence of granules in the discharge. The first main thing, triad, is a clinically manifested triad sign. First, the foot is swelling, then discharging the sinus. Now the nodule formation, the nodules are discharging sinus, and presence of granules in the discharges. Okay, the two types. First one is the eumycetoma and actinomycetoma. Eumycetoma caused by fungal, right? But actinomycetoma caused by bacteria. The next one is sporotrichosis, also known as rose garden disease, caused by thermally dimorphic fungi, sporothic fungi. Thermally dimorphic fungi. So it came from the mold form and affected the inside the body. It's changed the mold to yeast form. Okay, sporothic fungi present the subcutaneous nodulo-ulcerative lesion. You can see the lesions is like a similar like mycetoma infection. First is form the nodule and then is produces discharging sinuses. Okay, this is painful only. As is rhinosporidiosis. This is caused by the Rhinosporidium cervi. Okay, large febrile polyps in the nose. Most common site, conjunctiva and rarely on the other sides. So most common site is the nose only. After that, sometimes it's the oral side, the buccal cavity same is present. Polyps, like round shaped polyps present in the nose, is very painful and rejection the hair follow. Also, as a systemic mycosis. Systemic mycosis affect the internal organs. May spread through the bloodstream. Usually caused by dimorphic fungi. We can already talk about the dimorphic fungi. The most of the dimorphic fungi caused the systemic infection. By example, Histoplasma capsulatum, blastomyces dermatitis, Coccidioides mitis, Paracoccidioides basilensis. Causes histoplasmosis. Causes the patient inhale the spores. It can inhale the spores. It comes the respiratory tract to the reach the lung. Causes the first primary infection site. The lung is a primary infection site. After that, it goes to the bloodstream and then we spread out all over the systemic other organs. That's why it's called the systemic infections. Blastomyces dermatitis also causes the blastomycosis. Coccidioides mitis causes the coccidiomycosis. Paracoccidioides basilensis causes the paracoccidiomycosis. Sporothic fungi causes sporotrichosis. The last one, opportunistic mycosis. What's opportunistic? The opportunistic mycosis occur in the immunocompromised patient. The like HIV patient, if the patient already affected the viral infection, after that they can easily get from the fungal infection. Example, Candida albicans, Aspergillus species, Cryptococcus neoformans. It's caused by the fungi that are normally found as a human commensals in the environment. The main vision, human commensals. If the normal person, they are not easily affected by this fungus. Okay, but the immunocompromised patient, they can easily affected by this fungi environment, but can act as a human pathogen. The presence of opportunities such as a low immunity. If the patient already affected by the other viral infections like a HIV, or some patients already affected by some other virus infection, they can easily have the low immunity. Okay, they can easily affect by this kind of fungi, the opportunistic fungi. These are the opportunistic: Candidiasis, Cryptococcosis, Aspergillosis, Zygomycosis, Hyaluronic mycosis, Pneumocystomycosis. And then the caused by Candidiasis caused by Candida species, Candida albicans, Candida glabrata. So these are the species caused by the Candidiasis. That's the Cryptococcus caused by Cryptococcus neoformans only. Aspergillus caused by Aspergillus species, Aspergillus niger, flavus, fumigatus. That's 3 species. As a Zygomycosis caused by Rhizopus and the mucous species. Hyaluronic hypomycosis caused by Fusarium and Penicillium. Pneumocystosis caused by Pneumocystis jirovecii. First one is Candidiasis. Most common fungal disease in human, affecting the skin, mucosa, the various internal organs, caused by Candida, the yeast-like fungus. The first one, yeast-like fungus that produce the pseudohyphae. We call it pseudohyphae, like this is a pseudohyphae. Okay. Various species: Candida albicans, Candida tropicalis, Candida preplosis, Candida glabrata, cruzae. There are other species out there. Common in present the various predisposing factors like patient on the steroid or immunosuppressive drugs, post-transplantation and the malignancy, HIV infection. They can easily affected by this of fungi. So that's why we called the opportunistic fungi. Second one is a cryptococcosis, caused by the capsulated yeast. The capsulated yeast, the main point. Cryptococcus neoformans capable of producing potentially fatal, potentially fatal meningitis, can easily kill the person. Okay, potentially fatal meningitis in the HIV infected people. So the third one is zygomycosis, group of life-threatening infection. In one group of life-threatening infections caused by the aseptate fungi belonging to the phylum Zygomycota. Okay, include Rhizopus, Mucor, Rhizomucor, Lichthymia. Okay, risk factor: diabetic ketoacidosis. Clinical forms: rhinocerebral mucormycosis. Third one, Aspergillosis, refers to the invasive and allergic disease caused by the hyaline mold named Aspergillus. Important species: Aspergillus fumigatus, Aspergillus flavus, Aspergillus niger. Risk factors: glucocorticoid use, that profound neutropenia. Clinically forms: pulmonary aspergillosis, most common form. Other forms: invasive sinusitis and cardiac, cerebral, ocular aspergillosis. Next one, penicillosis. Penicillin species produce various opportunistic infection: endophthalmitis, otomycosis, keratitis, and onychomycosis. The onychomycosis is an nail infection. Penicillium orniffi, only dimorphic species of the penicillium. That's the main important point. Penicillium orniffi, the only dimorphic fungi of the penicillium, which causes the opportunistic infection, wart-like skin lesions, and the HIV patient. Pneumocystosis, refer to the plasma cell pneumonia due to pneumocystis jirovecii, which typically occur in the HIV patient. Thank you for watching my class.